Zodiac 85X presents Team
Veganism can be hard if you think about yourself, but if you focus on the animals, it's super easy. Hey, you're all wet! Go to howdoigovegan.com and help us create heaven on earth for these guys. You can do it! Hello! Yes, no,
So we basically should ignore our health and think about the animals because it would be easier that way. That's basically what you're saying. Don't think about ourselves. But we have to, because if we don't think about ourselves, we might end up in the hospital. And also, it'll never be heaven on earth for these animals. You know why? Because a bunch of animals are still going through torture, even in the wild. No matter what, there's still a lot of animals being eaten by other animals. So no, it'll never be heaven on earth for these animals. And besides, some of our greatest technology uses animal products. So by forfeiting animal product, you basically want us to lag behind with technology and not push forward. That's basically what you want. Also, research is necessary. We need animals to do testing. It also helps us to learn more about the animals and how their body works. You see, if we don't continue doing research, how are we supposed to learn more about the animals and how we can help them? We can't treat them if we don't know how their body works. We still don't know everything. That's why we have to continue to learn.
Oh my god! Your mom forces you to eat dead animals, eh? That is so sad. Oh my god. Do you have any cats or dogs in your house? If you do, you should totally run away with them. They're not safe.
Okay, so basically, she responded to someone that was saying they wanted to be vegan, but their mom wouldn't let them and was forcing them to eat animals. The problem was how she responded to that person. She basically told them to run away with their animals. She has no right to say that because she is not the parent. Only the parent has the right to decide what goes into that household. It's their money. They have to set a certain budget. So they can only buy what they can afford. So if they've been buying certain food and they've been getting by on that food, then that's what's going to go into the household. So yeah, only the parent has the right to decide what's best for their child. And it's their child, so...
Hello, this is to one of my students who asked me, what do vegans do when a spider ends up in their house?
Oh boy, this ought to be good. Here we go, once again. Time to repeat the past, guys.
Well, there's a few options, but what we typically do over here is we have a piece of cardboard lying around and we keep a container, an empty container of hummus. If you don't know what hummus is, it's ground up chickpeas and you dip carrots and cucumbers in there or crackers, whatever. It's really good and it's healthy. It has a lot of protein.
Is that plastic I see? Yes, it is. And guess what? You bought vegan food just to store it inside something that was made with animal product. Because most plastic is made with animal product. And even if you try to justify it by saying, well, it's decaying animals. No, you try to teach people to stay away from animal products. So why are you using animal products? And here's a fun little fact. If there was no meat industry, there wouldn't be enough decaying animals to create plastic with. Meaning you wouldn't be able to use plastic containers. You would be forced using glass containers. And you can't air seal that stuff, so the food would spoil.
So we keep this there. So we try to catch the spider very, very delicately because we don't want to hurt the spider. The spider just came there innocently.
I don't know, guys. I'm willing to call Butterfingers on this one. What do you think? Trying to scoop the spider up with a piece of cardboard, getting it in that little plastic container? What do you think, Butterfingers?
poor little sweetheart, she was just like minding her own business, la la la, and ended up in your house. So, you know, she's just as freaked out as you are, even more. I mean, she's terrified. A giant is coming after her.
False. That spider was most likely not minding its own business. Check this out. This is probably what most likely happened in a scenario like this. The spider was probably chasing down its prey. And then, after coming upon a new area, which found your location, your house, it probably sensed other insects within your home. So what it did was creep up to that house and find the hole or crack or whatever, made its way into your home, and it decided, well, since there are so many insects in here, I might as well make it a home of my own.
So you take the cardboard and you gently put it underneath the spider, and you just lower the lid. You have to be so careful not to hurt her poor little legs. And then you carry her outside and you just put it down and you lift up the top and you walk away, and she will find her way. That's it. I hope that helps.
Wow, Karen. You just sent the spider to its doom. The spider was so used to living inside your home, it basically made it a home of its own. It had food and everything and shelter, and you basically kicked it out. And you know what's going to happen? A lizard's going to eat it. You know why? Because it didn't have a home outside. It had no defense, no webbing, no nothing, and it's out in the open. So one of two things are either going to happen. It's either going to be eaten by a predator, or it's going to find its way back inside your home. And also, if you loved animals, why did you kick the spider out?
Vegans always consider the animals first. So we don't breed animals. We don't believe in buying them from pet stores, because then it's like a supply and demand thing. They keep making them.
Okay, well, I do respect the fact that she was being nice about this. I'm still going to have to disagree with her on this. The reason why is, it's better to have had life than not had any at all. You see, a lot of these people that do breed animals into existence, that gives those animals a chance to experience life. For whatever cause it might be, it is better to have had life than not had any. Okay, I'm going to use the praying mantis as an example. The female will eat the male after they mate. And I know it seems a bit harsh, but it's highly needed. You see, it aids in the production of eggs for the female. It allows her to lay twice as many eggs. So, if the praying mantis didn't go through all that, they may cease to exist. It might seem horrible, but that's a part of the cycle. And also, at least I can say for the pet shops, their intentions are good. Oh, and if we were to put non-human animals first, we would never get anywhere in life. We would never be able to work jobs either, because they would be more important than us. We would never be able to advance.
Now Bella's here with us because she was in a shelter and she was behind bars and she wasn't in a home. So she was suffering. So we brought her to live with us as a companion. And right now she's licking out the last bit of the peanut butter jar.
You want to know what's funny? Basically, PETA runs a lot of those shelters. So you're basically saving your dog from PETA, the same group you're supposed to be fighting for. PETA's known for running shelters, and the euthanizing rate is really high with PETA. They're like the most well-known organization to euthanize animals. So you should really look at who you represent before pointing fingers at anyone else. Now, I'm not trying to nitpick or anything, but I noticed your dog was licking out of that peanut butter jar. And I know I'm not going to complain about that. There's like a lot of dogs that will lick the peanut butter. And that's not what bothers me. It's the fact that you're letting the dog chew on the jar too. See, we had an incident in the past where a piece broke off on what the plastic part of what the dog was chewing on, and the piece almost got lodged. Well, it was unexpected that the piece was going to give way. So you should be really careful with what your dog is chewing on and keep plenty of supervision. I know you like making TikToks and all, but I really wouldn't let that dog sit there chewing on that jar, that plastic jar, when you could easily just scoop out the peanut butter, put it in a dish or whatever. But yeah.
And so yeah, it's basically that. So if you think about horses, I mean, I hate to tell you this because I know you have these pets and obviously you're going to keep them and take care of them. But the reality is, you know, horses should be outside in the wild, and cats are bred in order to be able to exist with us, but then we kill other animals for our cats. And we don't want to kill any animals for Bella, and that's why she's vegan. She eats a healthy vegan dog food.
Sorry, it's starting to get cold, so I'm wearing this hoodie. Anyways, yeah, what you said about that horses belong out in the wild, you know, you act like only dogs and cats can be adopted. You act like people have never adopted horses before. See, how is that any different? How should only dogs and cats be adopted? How come just them and not other animals? And you talk about us being a speciesist. What does that make you then? Horses go up for adoption all the time. So what right do you have to tell people that horses belong in the wild, and yet you adopt Bella? People have that same right to adopt a horse as you do adopting Bella. Wait a minute. Why did you bring up cats in the first place? Cats are obligate carnivores. You can't give them vegan food. There's synthetic nutrients in that, and it's not good for the cats. And also, we're not killing animals for our pets. Companies do it for us so we don't have to. They can handle those kind of things. They get paid for that. You act like veganism is the way. If that were true, then why is it during the winter the vegetables are scarce? Why do the plants die in the winter and yet the deer come out and certain other animals come out in the winter? Because if vegetables are scarce in the winter, at least we know we'll have meat to eat. And besides, I'm willing to bet the price of vegan food goes up in the winter. So good luck getting some vegan dog food at a good deal.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.